All right, let's go ahead and get ready to take another trip here back into the fog. Time for trial number 1 here between Singularity and Desolate. We're going to be seeing V1 out here on the Blight. We'll be seeing Jay, Mad05, Lucas, and Leah Valier on the Survivor side. And, you know, that's going to be really important. First chase going to be so important. You actually see got 2 survivors here we were able to find very quickly here. You already got yourself a very first hit as well onto Jay. And it looks like our friend here, Virtual, off to a fantastic start.
This is definitely going to be the start that you're going to want here. Already finding a bunch of survivors. I believe he rushed over here as we were on the roster screen, and now already gets a down onto Jay a couple of seconds in, around 30 seconds in. This is going to be a huge play for Virtual here. The survivors are just beginning on these generators. Not a lot of progress. We can see how important this first chase really was onto Virtual. Matt is going to be nearby trying to set up for the save. However, he's going to vault through, and we see the bounce even though the Blight is phasing. We know that he's on Matt as well. Lucas is going to start a gen across from the Blight as well, but it seems like the Blight is just going to be staying around where Matt is. Ooh, Matt takes a hit as well. That's not going to be good. That means he can't go for the save. Lucas is the only one who can potentially go in for the save here, but Virtual still going to stick around, phasing around in this map. We'll see the reset trying to come up from Mad05 onto himself. However, Jay is still hanging on the hook, and it seems Lucas has now been interrupted on his generator as well. They're going to have to play around this pallet, but he headed back for Mad05 in the main building and was able to get it down all while invisible. This is why we love Virtual. He's able to do things completely out of his mind. I believe now he's probably going to wait for Jay on that hook and try and get the kill out here in this situation. But oh my god, still phasing here. This is, I think, the longest phase I've seen from a killer before.
Yeah, we've got one of those unfortunate visual bugs here. Oh, thought was going to get Mad05. Mad05 does get up here, but you bought plenty of time. Now a second stage going to be forced. That means one survivor can be tunneled out once they're pulled off the hook, that being Jay here. We are going to be seeing forward a Peepo, though, is going to come out here. At least buys a little bit of additional time, but Virtual wants to waste no time. Knows that they can come back here towards the middle of the map, trying to see if they can find the Nancy. Instead, seeing those blood marks there, realizing it's going to be one of those injured survivors, instead doubles back towards the main building. We've got 2 hook stages, and really, I don't know if we've got any gens that are farther than that like 30-35% mark.
Yeah, I mean, we saw that Lucas was working on one, but Virtual probably headed over there with that pop and just got off of it. Or yeah, it's already regressing. So now Virtual can just chase after Lucas here. Doesn't have to worry about a thing. Jay already on death hook, and all of the pressure is also on the main building side, which is where the Corrupt wasn't. So this is exactly what Virtual wants in this situation. Ooh, I thought Lucas maybe had some head on there, but no. So that will just be the down now on to Lucas, and another hook stage already 8 points to 0. Desolate doesn't really have anything they can do in this situation, and Jay has to stay safe, because if you get someone dead at 5 gens, you're basically over in a game on Blood Lodge.
Yeah, and you can see we got that information from the barbecue there to let us know that we had quite, I think it was 2 different survivors over here. We also know that that 3rd survivor must have been relatively close, obviously not just with the quick unhook, but with the fact that we didn't see them on those auras as well. But in a great spot here. Also, maybe a little bit early of pallet throwing. I feel like maybe not really using our resources to the full potential, because
Probably
now
they've
zoned themselves out here in the corner, able
it.
to bait out the dead hard, and that's now going to be another down.
Yeah, already we're at now what's going to be 11 points to 0 for SNG versus Desolate here. This is such a great advantage here already in the early game. You have people like Leaf and Lucas who you can get hooked onto their death hook, and you have Jay who's already on that death hook. You also have 3 fresh hooks, so all you're worried about now is hooking Mad, and you're basically in a perfect position, or hooking Jay, and you're in a position where you basically can't lose. We see the pop now being applied to the same gen that was worked on and had them most progress at the start of the game, now going to be again reduced back to nothing after a couple of seconds. Lucas will also take a tag, and he doesn't really have anywhere to make it other than this jungle gym. In the meantime, we'll see that Jin being popped, but now we know exactly where everybody is. We know Mad was nearby the hook, Leaf was on the hook, and Lucas is in front of us, so Jay is the person who's at that generator, and Virtual uses that information to his advantage. He's going to be able to potentially get Jay out of the game right now.
Yeah, this is going to be absolutely huge, and not even if
but he
especially
has to
because
stop
you
this
can get
Jin.
Jay out, but you also, now Lucas, once they're off the hook here as well, that survivor will be able to be removed from the trials. So right now, Virtual in such a good spot. We can see Matt05 pre-leaving this generator, heading towards the back of Shaq. So Virtual wants none of
Jay
that,
again.
just going to go ahead and get the free kick, coming back towards the unhook, wants to try and find Lucas, get them out as soon as possible. Quick bounce to try and find their way around. Nice hit though, and that's going to at least buy a little bit of additional distance for our survivor.
But I don't think he can really make it to anywhere. He has main building, but that's about it. Unless he has balanced landing, I don't think he's going to be able to make much distance here. He's not going to be able to make it to that 4 lane since it's already been used up. He has to run back now towards the middle of the map, but now that's just going to be a down. Now Lucas is out of the game, and 2 generators have been done, but I don't think that's enough when you have Jay, who's also on death hook, and you know he's nearby since he finished a generator near this hook and went in for the hook save as well. Virtual is in such a good spot right now.
Yeah, and you also, too, you know, you got a little bit of information knowing that at least one, I thought I might have seen a second aura back there as well. I might be mistaken. Our survivors, they've done a good job as far as trying to work on some of the middle gens, but I don't know if they've been able to buy quite enough time. There it is. It is actually going to be the injured Ace, who we have been able to locate back here at Shaq. Shaq pallet's still up. Could be a potentially a nice resource to use for later, but my goodness gracious, we're throwing this pallet out here with reckless abandon.
Yeah, Virtual should be able to get down. He waited out the dead hard once again. He saw it earlier, but Leaf won't even get the opportunity to use it now. Just going to take the down. That's now going to be Leaf on death hook. Before Jay gets out of the game, we're going to have another person on the death hook. The only one who's not been hooked is Mad, and I believe that silhouette right there is probably going to be Jay running towards Virtual, so that could also be another death and a person out of the game. Oh no, it's going to be Matt05, the only fresh hook. However, this still might not be the best outcome, because I think honestly at this point the thing that you can hope for is Matt05 bleeds out and Jay gets out the door if you're able to do this, because now Matt05 goes down. Now Virtual can get the fresh hook for free, and honestly with this gen having some progress, I don't know where Jay honestly could be. Maybe going back for the save, but we didn't see him on barbecue. That makes me think Jay probably has distortion here. Oh, and with this generator with progress, now we know exactly where he is. He's in this main building hiding. That's a great spot for him to be. However, Virtual's nearby. If he's able to find him and he sees him through the window,
oh, no.
Now he's the last hope. He's not going to be able to make it to Leaf. He has only a couple seconds left, but this blind is able to buy him a little bit of distance. Will he be able to get the pickup onto Matt05 though? That's the question.
Yeah, and we see, of course, not going to have the distance, not going to have the time to be able to get the survivor up off the hook. So the question really only being, as far as that slug, trying to make their way around the bus here. Another pallet getting thrown relatively quickly here. And now you're going to have to start worrying. If you're Jay, you're running out of resources. Now we're moving up towards this jungle gym here. We know this pallet is already down. You're now going to take this tag. The question is, where can you go? We know we've used a lot of the resources in the middle, and I think this is going to be a 4K before a 3rd gen pops, which is quite a pace to really be setting here early.
Yeah, but if we remember earlier in the start of this game, we saw Jay had Unbreakable. He's left on the floor right now. He can pick himself up, but will Virtual give him enough time to do that? Matt05 is already on the back foot, only really has this tile to work with. Virtual is going to cut him off as well, and so that's going to be Matt05 down. I don't think Jay is going to be able to have the time to pick himself up, and this should just be the end of the game. A full 4K, like you said, before a 3rd gen is done.
That is really, really impressive. Such a strong performance here. Really going to be giving the survivors, I'm sure, for Singularity, a real motivation to come out here. All of you got it. You don't have to worry about playing around a 3 gen or nothing huge.
Yeah, exactly. It's definitely going to be very freeing for the survivors, but honestly, from my expectations of SNG, I would assume that they're still going to try and play it out the hardest and try to get the best and biggest point spread here possible. And honestly, that would be amazing to see, because SNG, if they've shown anything off their killer, it's that they're very experienced on this map. Like we said, this is SNG's favorite map and killer to play on, so this is definitely going to be the best experience for them to come in here and try and get a great point spread. But yeah, we're going to be ending up this round with 28 8-4, a great advantage for SNG going into the Survivor round, and we'll see what they have to do after a short break.
All right, let's go ahead and take another trip here, right on back into the fog. Time for trial number 2 here between Singularity and Desolate. Going to be seeing Doc out on the killer side. Got quite a tall ask, if you can ask me. I think you would agree and say the same, right, Good day?
Yeah, this is definitely going to be a huge ask here. We had a 4K before a third generator could even pop at 3 generators. This is definitely going to be a very big ask from the team of Desolate.
And here we are. I'm going to be really intrigued to see kind of how things start off. It looks like while we were loading in here, we found ourselves, I thought we had found ourselves a survivor, I thought, as we were swinging there. But regardless here, Doc has found their way into the middle of the map over here by the tractor. I thought we were tracking someone around there. Not going to be the case. It's actually 2 survivors now that are going to be seen moving through the middle of the map. That is going to be a Hardwell getting found. Early pallet throw, tries to catch him with a blind to at least build a little bit of additional distance. Isn't going to be able to do so. We can actually see Ada trying to make their way back towards the shack here.
Yeah, he's going to be taking a hit here. However, though, Doc is going to have to try and get a lot of pressure off of this chase if he wants to try and match up with the performance of Virtual in the previous round. Arima now going to head towards the center of the map. Ooh, but he does find another pallet as well. Doc, however, should be able to get a bounce off of this truck and potentially get the down. Ooh, but it's going to be a 50-50, I think. But it's still in his favor. He's going to go for it. Oh, the dead hard wasn't even needed there at the end of it. He just barely avoids the hit. But Arima vaults back in, so the down still will come through nonetheless. Doc has a little bit of favor on his side now, getting the first hook here at 5 gens. However, the survivors should have had a lot more time than we saw previously from Desolate to work on these generators, and now they might even be able to get a gen done before another hook comes through. And yep, that's exactly what's going to come through. Virtual also right nearby, going for that unhook as well. This is not the position that you want to be in if you are Doc, as this generator that you just kicked as well is almost completed too.
Yeah, you've got quite a bit of pressure on that gen. You can imagine that there's probably, more than likely, going to be a 3rd gen somewhere that has a similar amount of progress on it. So Doc right now really going to be feeling the pressure. Now also going to be seeing another chase here. Hardwell is going to be able to drop that pallet, avoids taking the hit. It's going to be moving back here by Shaq, however. Could be a potentially strong loop to try and use to their advantage. Unfortunately, takes a hit before being able to make their way through the window. Staying here at Shaq, though, it does not look like tries to push their way through. There is that pallet that has been used before. That's actually the pallet where we got our first down at. Unfortunately, just a little bit slippery walls here for Doc. That's going to allow some distance to get built. That's some big time for Singularity here and some big value for them.
Yeah, like you're saying, right now, a lot of value is getting gained from SNG right now. Doc isn't going to get a lot of value off of his chases, so a lot of value on these gens are going to be built up, and we can see that as the call of Brian is going to let us know that someone's working on the generator that Doc had just kicked, and it's going to be Virtual, that sprint burst, allowing him to avoid that hit. That's going to waste even more time. Doc is going to have to bounce around here as well. We know that there's not a good tile here in this area, however, so Doc could potentially get a hit, but ooh, honestly, I don't know exactly where you would go if you are Virtual. Yeah, you just have to take that hit. There's not much really you can do in the distance. Hardwell is going to get reset, but Doc could potentially go for Virtual. No, is going to leave. He sees the crane and he's scared. He wants to protect the generator that was over here, and honestly, that might be the best play. I think if I was Hardwell, I would be somewhere in this area, or Zeno, and yep, there we are. One of the healthy people over here in this area. He's going to be able to use that pallet now, and but that's going to be the only one in the area, and Call of Brian once again going to be kicked onto this gen. Doc has had a lot of progress removed from this generator, but because he's so focused on it, I think survivors are going to be working on the generators deeper into the map. But however, he's going to find Zeno, runs in towards him there, and so Doc isn't going to get a lot of value there, sorry, Zeno isn't going to get a lot of value there running back towards there, only going to take a hit. That's going to give Doc a lot of pressure here in this scenario, but seems to be able to use the balanced landing now, but the rushes are up as well. But oh my god, the body block from Zeno there on the car, able to avoid the hit, something that should have almost been guaranteed there. Doc has his charges up again, but oh my god, wow. Another dodge from Zeno there, able to avoid again another hook. Doc needs to try and come in here right now and get this down, or else I think 2 or maybe even 3 gens will pop very, very soon.
Yeah, Zeno absolutely breaking out the juice, snatching some ankles, serving some souls, breaking them down. Because right now, as you mentioned, there's a lot of time that's being given up, and you have to remember that that second gen, that's the last gen that can pop, right? Otherwise, then the time that this next gen pops, we've already got ourselves a decision. However, on the side of Singularity, if I know anything about the squad of survivors over here, they're going to try and limit the amount of hook stages that get given over, knowing that there's a potential that the same killer could be out in set number 2.
Oh, and there's the other gen already gone right here. Like I said, 2 to 3 gens had to pop after that chase with Zeno. You needed some value out of that. You had wasted so much time going back and forth onto that gen on the left side of the map, on that shack side, and because of that, Doc wasn't able to protect the gens on that main building side of the map. So unless he had a very short chase with Zeno there, I was almost certain that 2 to 3 gens were going to pop there. And now he's going to chase Zeno once again. Will be able to juke this time. He's going to use that balance landing once more. However, he can't block him here, can he? No, he can around the hook there, but it's not going to be enough as he's able to then find another tile to bounce off of and gets the down now onto Zeno. He'll kick this gen as well, but it's already too late for him to worry about these generators right now. He needs to worry about getting some kills here.
Yeah, you have to worry about trying to take a little bit of momentum out of the sails here of Singularity, especially because we're seeing a 4th gen now popping. We know that this generator that was back behind Shaq had a decent amount of progress from the jump, but we also know that there's a couple of generators that we haven't checked up on, like the one that's up here by the truck, and if there's a potential that that gen's also very, very far, we could still have the possibility of seeing 4 out here for Team Singularity.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be a huge swing in the favor of Singularity. You know, we saw Desolate and Singularity and Day of the Dead be very, very close, 2nd and 1st place, but Singularity is just showing how dominant their lead was in that tournament, and now this one, with this showing on the Blight, already having a 26-point lead here in this scenario, unless Doc is able to get another down or possibly a kill, and Zeno once again will be the person in chase. Doc is on him, but oh, he's able to get a body block there. I was going to say avoid the hit, but no, a body block from Hardwell will also come through and prevent Zeno from going down for a couple more seconds. The last gen should be popping anytime soon as well. This stun will come through, prolongating this chase even more. Doc's gonna leave it, trying to stop this last gen from popping, but I think this isn't the correct one. I think they were splitting on another one over where Hardwell was potentially. Oh no, I was lying. Arima and Virtual were still both on this gen, so now Doc did interrupt the correct one. However, Hardwell should be across the map working on one in the corner as well. There's no stopping that last gen from popping. It's just a question of whether or not Doc will get it down before then.
Yeah, the good news for you right now, if you're Doc, you've got 4 injured survivors, so no matter who it is that you find, a simple M1 helps you out. Dead Hard's going to allow for a little bit of distance to be made, might allow you to get back over here to this truck. I think we still have this pallet available, if I'm not mistaken. Regardless, though, not going to be able to make the distance. The down comes in. Now the question becomes, how much progress is on these generators? You can't help but imagine the generator back behind Shaq, the one that we've been trying to keep an eye on all this time, is just about ready to go. Pre-leaving here is entered, making their way through. This is big.
Oh yeah, I think Doc knew that he probably had lied, that he was playing around that window, so he decides to leave. He knows that this other generator also has a lot of progress. He has to play in between them, and like you're saying, they're all injured, so he has the potential to snowball it, but Arima gets picked up. Zeno's already healed. Doc needs to get more downs and needs them now. Ooh, Virtual trying to 99 that sprint burst, but he doesn't get it off in time. Doc should be able to get this hook now, but Hardbro in the distance should be able to complete that generator as well.
Yeah, and with that gen being complete, then our survivors will be able to just simply worry about the doors, especially because there's plenty of hang time here for Virtual. Lets you know that you don't have to worry about coming in for the save right away, especially with so much distance between the hook and the gen being so far away. You know that there's going to be someone over there. You got just a standoff here. The pallet does eventually go down here onto Zeno, but you know that you have 2 survivors that are around here. One of them has to be simply holding M1 on a gen.
He corner teched him there. Arima was hiding in the corner right there as Doc just went for the full swing, and we see, I think Zeno was heading back there now for the save, and Hardwell across the map as well will complete another generator, and oh my god, this, like you said earlier, might be a 4 out.
Yeah, that 5th gen gets complete. You also saw the save coming in here. So Doc right now needs to get somebody down, especially because that unhook was close to a door. The good news for you right now, Hardwell is injured, so you might be able to make a play, especially because you don't have any lights over on this door. You've also been able to get rid of some of the resources that are in the middle of the map. There's going to be an M1 here on to Zeno, trying to buy a little bit of additional time here, but swing at the window. That's going to be a down.
The for the people, though, will get them back up, and the door's almost open. This could be the 4-man out. Arima also gets the dodge. I think even if that connected, however, although Arima did have the dead hardy there, so that could have been it. Ooh, but Zeno has nothing to work with. He should just go down in this corner. However, that means that all the other survivors can run towards the opposite door. Doc is going to have to head over there towards them and try to get it down onto somebody else, but Zeno also might have an unbreakable. He might be able to pick himself up and get out through the other door if Doc commits too much time over here, but ooh, I think Virtual was found out in the open right here. The question is, are they going to be able to get the 4-man out? We see 2 people over there in the exit. They're going to have to heal each other if they want to get Virtual out of here. Virtual runs towards the main building, but Doc should still be able to get the down potentially. He tries to wait for them to drop down from the top, but they're not going to go for it. So now he just walks up himself, and this should be the down unless there's a balanced landing. I don't think there is. Yeah, no balanced landing. He won't be able to make the window, but the reset onto Hardwell does come through. Zeno hasn't picked himself up, so I would believe that Zeno isn't the unbreakable user, meaning Virtual could also still just be the unbreakable user.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Luckily, you've already got yourself your win condition here, so altruism can't necessarily cause you the loss, but it is going to leave 2 bodies behind here, a couple of swings. Now all you got to do is locate your survivors.
Virtual gets picked up from the unbreakable. Like I said, the Virtual could have been the unbreakable user, and he is. He still has the opportunity to go back for Zeno, maybe get the pick up and maybe get outside that door, but it all comes down to whether or not he's going to be able to play around this main building. Doc is trying to go for the mind games, but Virtual's not going to fall for it just yet. He does drop down, but he should be able to make the window. No! Oh, the balanced landing comes through, however, but is he able to make the door? That's the question.
Yeah, and there's just so much space, no resources there, and you can see now going to have to dig their way back into the map. I don't think there would have been nearly enough time for our last survivor to crawl over towards this open door, but now the question becomes, is there a potential?
Oh, he is near the door. He's right next to the hook. Oh, this could be huge. He could go in for that open exit gate. That could be everything that we need here in this situation if we want to see Zeno out of the door right now.
Wait. What?
Zeno's right there next to the door. He's right on the gate. Doc doesn't know he's over there either. He might bleed out before maybe the in-game collapse will go there, but he's right next to him. Oh, but I think he hears him. He hears the noises of Zeno. He might go in for the pickup. Oh, yeah. He finds him at the last second as he was trying to go around the hook right there.
Oh man, but you are going to be able to secure him in time here. This is, so I mean, you still get the 2K. It's a little bit of additional like pickup for you here if you're Desolate, right? But I mean, it felt like Singularity was in such control, and these same survivors are going to be right back out here for the Oni set.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, such control here shown in this set right now. It's honestly incredible how they were able to get such a dominant lead, but we'll see, like you said, after the break, what they're able to do in that Oni set.
All right, let's go ahead and take a...
Oh, 1 second. This is the problem with a little bit of pre-recording. Sometimes OBS is a little funny, but it's fine. It's fine. We'll get you the right game.
We're back on Blood Lodge, baby. Let's go.
No. This time we're gonna be here with the Oni, and Towie is going to be playing the Oni here for us as we have SNG on the survivors once again. SNG showed such a good performance in that last match, able to have such a domineering lead against Desolate's killer here, but in the last couple seconds, Doc was able to make a quick comeback. However, Towie is now going to be the one subbing in for the Oni here. So the question is, are they going to be nervous about these survivors, or are they going to be able to bring in the confidence from that previous set here? That's really going to be the question. Now Towie's going to be chasing after, I believe this is going to be Zeno, after he showed some good juice in the last match. Towie's going to have to try and show some excellent mind games to come out here for us quick.
Yeah, now this is going to be important here. You can see trying to maintain this aggro over here on the corrupt side of the map. The one thing that we do have to worry about, though, Cold Tower, not necessarily the biggest of maps, which means it doesn't necessarily have the most resources on it, right? So we've already gotten a couple of those out of the way. And that means potentially later in the trial, that could come back to haunt Singularity. We see now taking this chase back in this bottom right-hand corner of the map where a lot of our competitive players would call 5. Another pallet now going to be down and out of the way. We've been in this trial about, was that 70 seconds or so? So we're getting close to where we might see that first gen popping, but you gotta hope you have your team spread out hitting multiple gens right now.
Yeah, that's really going to be the question, though. But Towie really hasn't had a lot of value. He hasn't broken many important pallets, I would say, and he hasn't really pressured a lot of these survivors. But you can see how much progress is already gained here. You know, he has that Call of Brine interruption like we usually see. However, a lot of progress has already been built up, and with Towie now taking the stun as well, he's going to be wasting even more time. He's kicked 3 of these generators already, but I wouldn't be surprised if the survivors have already started working on these generators right now.
I gotta say, you know, with the emergence of the gen kick meta, even just in regular lobbies, I am very much a big fan of the blast mine. It feels like a little bit of extra revenge, you know what I mean? But we see, at least now, we're starting to see a couple of those skill check notifications. We know that our survivors, maybe not exactly the best at hitting grades, but still at least getting progressions on the gen itself. We have a strong palette here, and still, you'll notice that bottom left-hand corner, not much progress towards our power here because we've still yet to get a health state change.
That's going to be the question right now. Are we going to be able to get that health state change before a lot of these generators are going to be popped? Because honestly, Oni is a very hit or miss killer. You either can get that 4K or you can get no kills at all. And you know, honestly, from SNG, I would expect there to be a performance where not a lot of mistakes are made. So that's definitely something that could play out against Towie unless he's able to come up with a really, really good mind game here. But we'll see the drop down now from Zeno. He was 99 in that sprint burst, able to get so much distance now. That was such a great play from him to try and bait out Towie to go for the drop down. Now another survivor can go up there onto that top gen and potentially pop it as well. One generator will pop, not a single hit still has been taken, and 3 gens on the top side are also all near completion. Towie needs a hit and he needs it now. He's on that bloodless too. He needs the third one, however, but another pallet will be coming and blocking that Arima, however, won't be able to make it in time. So the first hit will come through, but Towie still needs to get it down as soon as possible, as again 3 more gens are close to popping.
Yeah, I mean, the good news for you, I guess, a little bit of, I guess you could say silver lining here. If you're Tower, you do have access to that power, which we are going to be seeing Tower use right now. That's that middle gen that gets complete. While you're in your power here, in the Demon Dash, you can cover a lot of the map very, very quickly. But not just that, obviously, the one-shot down potential. You do have the ability to snowball a map. You do have the ability to really switch things right now. You see the survivors, though, doing a good job relieving the gens, making sure they're splitting up, and not just that, but also the Ada's getting healed, which means once this power is done, they will not be dropping blood orbs as well.
Did he go upstairs originally? Did Zeno, was that Zeno who has started in the chase? I don't even know who we found there started on the chase, but now Zeno will be found out. This should come in with a quick down. No, the stun will come through, and now the blind, but Towie is still in the power. We might be able to still get the down here onto Zeno. However, we saw the scratch marks. He should be behind the rock. Will Towie be able to find him, though? That's going to be the question. He's looking around. I don't think he knows that he went behind the rock. He saw the scratch marks, though. He should know he's at that generator right there, but the power's already out. Towie's gonna get no value from it, and now that everyone's healed, he's basically back at 0 at 3 generators remaining on. The gens are still being cranked out here.
Yeah, that's huge. You took so long to be able to get into that power. Then over the course of the power, you have the survivor getting healed, which means no more blood orbs. You're not able to get the down. Now the survivors can just simply do the easiest part of Dead by Daylight. Hold M1, hit some skill checks, and if there's anything that we've seen from Singularity thus far in the first set, it's that they're really good at that. There it is, 4th gen, just like that.
No, not even, yeah, they have the 4th gen already coming out, but not even just that, but Towie still hasn't gotten a down here and has no blood. Towie needs something, he needs it now, and now that main building generator that he's been so focused on this entire game is also being worked on and should have been being worked on during those chases as well, meaning that's already going to pop as well. All generators are completed. Not a single hook has come through. Zeno is going to be in chase, but the power isn't that close to completion. A body block could come through and the survivors could get out the door. There's no way out to prevent this from happening, and Zeno's making it deeper and deeper into the map. A body block definitely could come through right now, and we see Hardwell sitting up for that. The door's been opened. This could be the 4-man out with 0 stages.
This is absolutely insane. Of course, the M1's going to be able to give Ace the speed boost. Going to try and see if maybe potentially might be able to use the demon dash to get the down 1, 1, 2, 3. That's the 4 out the door. That's the perfect game here to start things off here for Singularity.
Yeah, that's going to be the full 22 points for Singularity. I wanted to pause the video right here. Keep in mind, everybody, this is pre-recorded but casted live. This was recorded shortly before today. 22 points to 0, though. I want to talk about this just a little bit. This is setting up for the potential of a perfect score for Singularity. They could potentially get 50 points here if they're set up for the 4K. That's the question. Are they going to be able to get the full 50 points, a perfect score? This would be the first time it's ever been done in DBDLeague history. Ever been done. This would be super huge to see. And we'll see if that's able to come true after a short break.
All right, let's get ready to take another trip here back into the fog. Kind of like Good Day hinted at before the break here. Zeno coming out for Singularity has the potential to do something we haven't seen in DBDLeague. If we're going to be able to finish off a perfect score, Desolate trying to avoid that. We're going to be seeing Leaf, Lucas, Mado5, and Towie out on that survivor side. They're going to try and see. Obviously, it's hard to best getting 4 out with no hooks, so that all you can do is just try and do the same thing, really tall ass.
Yeah, okay, we'll see Zeno now already headed towards the main building, probably spawned nearby, now going to try and find where these scratch marks are leading. Already on the scent of Survivor, but isn't going to be able to make it. This is the question, though. If they are able to get a 4K at 5 generators, this would be breaking so many records and setting such an intense one. I don't think it will ever be set again, but that would be ridiculous to see a 4K at 5. However, I think maybe Zeno might go for it. You know, we saw Zeno juicing up as the survivor. He might try to juice up as the killer, as we see Towie running towards the shack side, and now I believe Mado5 trying to make his way towards the top side, back towards the corrupt Zeno. Will he take this chase, though? However, he's on a jungle gym. It's going to be very, very risky. He's going to try for a mind game. Does Mado5 follow for it? He does. That's going to be the M1 already coming through. That's going to be a lot of blood thanks to that add-on. I believe it's called the Splintered Hole. He will be able to drop even more blood. He could even just get his power out of this, but it doesn't seem like Zeno's just going to fall for that. He's going to return now back towards the Jin. So, if you're asking what the win condition right now is for Zeno, it's 1 hook. But if he's able to get a 4K right here, it will be a perfect score and make DBDL history. That's what's on the line right here, is if he's able to 4K, he will have a record that has never been set before. We see Mado5 is nearby. He was getting reset by Leaf, but Zeno gets his power out of that because of that. But now, instead of going for Leaf or Mado5, he's going to return now back towards the Jin, where we saw Towie working on it before. But no, not even that one. He's going to head deeper back towards the shack side. He finds Lucas, but narrowly misses that. Now has the shack to play around. Lucas should be safe here. Zeno gonna go around it. No, he fakes for it, but look, that was Lucas's vaulting. Why did he fall back into him? He gets down now because of that, and the eruption. Now Zeno knows exactly where to head towards. He could find Towie. We're still at 5 gens. Not a lot of progress has been made. If Zeno gets it down right now here, it could be huge, but no scratch marks found. Zeno knows that he should probably be hiding in one of these lockers. Maybe he's going to go back for the pickup, though. However, since he did head towards the top of the map, so Zeno really can't commit to anything right here, right now. If he wants to keep the 5-gen dream alive, he has to find somebody else going for there. And yep, Towie immediately headed back towards the slug to get the pickup. Mado5's also nearby, but we see Zeno is already headed back towards the slug, was trying to get a hook, but the pickup already comes through. The blind will come through as well, as Towie now is going to make his way over towards this pallet. Zeno will get a little bit more blood, but not enough for his power. He's gonna have to bleed Lucas dry if he really wants his power back up, and he should be over near this window, but no, it's gonna be Towie instead, but only really has this filler to play around. Zeno could bloodlust around it, however, he also can play that window. Ooh, and Zeno gets stuck on that pallet, meaning that he can go back to shack, but I forgot he has bamboozle, and it seems Towie does too, since he ran back over here.
Yeah, now you're going to be able to get another health state change. It means you're going to be that much closer to being able to get that use of the power that you were talking about earlier, right? Very interested to see, though, still yet to see a generator pop. We've been in this trial for quite some time. Still haven't seen anything happen just quite yet. The Splinter Hole is going to give Xeno some extra value here, going to be able to get us to that use of the power here at this point. The question becomes, though, are you going to be able to find and down with it? Because right now you don't even really have a location other than just the one survivor we're chasing around this tile here.
Yeah, that is true. However, ooh, I was going to say he might get the down onto Lucas right here, which would confirm the win con, but that head-on was so well timed. But Lucas still zoned, and Xeno's not going to care about the head-on or not going to care about activating his power. Just going to go immediately down for Lucas. He shouldn't have balanced landing, I'm pretty sure. Maybe he still does up his pocket. If he does, he's going to make a lot of distance. Yeah, he did! He did still have that activated in his pocket, so he will make himself a way around this main building one more time. However, ooh, two generators in the distance will pop. That means that the 4K at 5 isn't going to come true, but we still have the potentiality for a perfect score coming from Xeno. A down onto Lucas. It seems like he wants to get this 4K as soon as possible. He's not going to go for the win con, not going to waste any more time, not going to let the survivors get any more gens done. He's already found Leaf as well on this pallet. If Xeno gets it down, that's going to be a huge pressure situation, and he does as Leaf vaults into him. Now, he could either go and get this hook right now and confirm the win con, or go back to Lucas, potentially finding another person who's going for the reset, but ooh, it doesn't seem like anyone's nearby. Xeno should get the pickup, but is the pallet save going to come through? That's the question. No, not even a pallet save. Mano5 will get the blind. This is going to prevent the 4K for a couple more seconds and prevent them from going out just immediately, or just to a perfect score here.
Yeah, now this is going to be big too, because you are going to allow a little bit of distance over here. You've also got the pickup. Hopefully our friend Xeno here isn't trying to overextend, because we still haven't even met the win con. Granted, you have 3 survivors that are injured that can quickly be put onto the ground and then concurrently up onto the hook as well. But what we are going to see is a reset now coming again to across onto Lucas. Can you get the down onto Leaf is the next question. We've got a pallet over here, tries to bait out the swing, isn't going to be able to happen here. We're in a 4 lane, and that's going to be the down.
Yeah, that's the down on Leaf, but Xeno's still not going for it. He's going to activate his power. Xeno is so greedy here right now. He's scared that these gens are going to pop and he's not going to get his perfect score. I think he's aware of it too. We saw Towie was nearby, but he's not going to go for him. Instead, finds Mano5 working at this generator up towards the top of the map. Is he able to get the down, though? That's the question. There's a lot of pallets over here, and Leaf could get picked up in the meantime.
Yeah, now we do still have just a little bit of time left. We got to keep in mind here that you've got a little bit, not just on time, but you might be able to catch some of these survivors out of position, not realizing that instead of what we see often with the Lion's Fang, we do have the Akito's Crutch, so we're actually moving a little bit faster here as well while we're in our Demon Dash. Can we control it to be able to establish the down? Trying to go for the flick here onto the Claudette, not going to land, and now you can't help but wonder, is maybe the potential
with the last couple seconds of his power?
Wow.
Wow, another generator will get completed, but this should be the one opportunity that Xeno has to confirm the win con, and it seems like he's going to take it. He goes up for the hook. Is he going to be able to make it? Yep, no one nearby. Mad was the one with the flashlight, and no pallets around, no body blocks either. So that's going to be the win con confirmed for Xeno, but he still has to fight for the perfect score. A score of 50 points, which has never been reached before. Towie, injured, is going to be right next to the hook. If Xeno gets down, oh no, he held W, and Xeno predicted that he would run towards them. Maybe that there was a pallet there, but no pallet there. Instead, Towie heads down towards the shack. Xeno is now going to need to try and get his power as soon as possible. However, with how many injured survivors there are, I think Xeno basically has his power up for the rest of the game if he wants it to, and he finds that Leaf is right next to him, but not going to go for him. Also sees a missed skill check, however, that's going to reveal exactly where Lucas is. Xeno now knows where every survivor is. Towie is probably going for the unhook as well. Xeno can head over there for free, basically, because he knows exactly where Lucas is thanks to that missed skill check.
Yeah, now we're going to come down here and check this generator that's back here at 4. You see some skill checks. We do see, though, the pallet gets dropped, gets stunned stupid. However, you don't aren't able to build much distance here. Goes for the flick. Absolutely beautiful here from Zeno, but we do see the unhook comes in. That means that you know where our last two survivors are. There's going to be one. Bam Bam, says Zeno. The last survivor left being the Claudette.
1 man away from the perfect score. That's all that's in between Zeno right now and setting a world record in DBDLeague history. Mad is going to be on a strong pallet, and he's going to have the potential to pick up at least one of his survivors since they're on this pallet as well, but also another one is nearby. If he's able to last a couple more seconds, this could potentially you know, you could potentially make a comeback here and prevent the perfect score from happening, but that's the question. Zeno seems to just be playing around his power. However, Mad has had a couple of seconds to work on the survivor who's on that floor. He should be able to get the pickup this time around. No, just barely not able to make it. Mad goes for the vault, but now Zeno has to activate his power. In the meantime, the survivor from the opposite side should have been recovered as well. So if Zeno goes for the pallet break right here, which he does, Mad might be able to get the pickup on another survivor as well.
Yeah, now the question is, though, are you going to be able to make that play? Because otherwise, you've got plenty of time here. Trying to make the play here. Not going to be able to get that, though. That's going to be just in the nick of time. Going to be able to get the pickup.
He misses again. This means 2 survivors are now up. We might come back from a 3-man down situation where all the survivors get back up. Mad will go down, but Towie will get back up. Lucas will get back up. Everyone except Mad is now up. Mad, the person who was only one left remaining standing, was able to make a comeback. Leaf will immediately go back down, but Lucas and Towie should be able to get Mad up in the meantime. Zeno's power will also run out, so now it's just an M1 against 3 injured survivors.
Yeah, this is going to be where it would have been some big value to have that Lion's Fang for prolonged use of the power, getting the extra 10 seconds, but instead, here you are still going to have 2 slugs. You should be able to secure at least one of them, with one being Towie being close by. You can't help but wonder, is Lucas going for the pickup across the way? Otherwise, still in a very risky spot here.
Save. Lucas instead goes for the save, and Zeno's not even going to bother with the BT, instead going after Lucas. Leaf, in the meantime, will get the pickup as well. Zeno has to play around this TNL wall, should be able to get it down relatively quickly, and he also sees that Mad's nearby. This could potentially, if he goes for his power, be a double down if Zeno wants to play around him. Instead, he's just going to triple fall the TNL, and somehow it works. This should be the hit onto Lucas's back.
Yeah, now you can't help but wonder, can you get the hit through the window? That's going to be the case. You still also have one other survivor you saw just over across the way, but you have all this blood here. You mentioned earlier being able to keep people injured is going to give another access of this power here. We are still going to also apply that Call of O'Brien as well, try and buy a little bit of additional time before we have to worry about those heats, especially because of that 4th gen popping now.
Yeah, we see now that the power up, however, is going to be up. Leaf is going to use the light, and Zeno calls it out, but Leaf is able to change directions in the last second and get away from his power. In the meantime, Towie is going to head back over towards Lucas, potentially going for the pickup, but Towie should be getting down here with his flick. No, he avoids it for a couple more seconds. Does that mean he's able to get the pickup on Lucas? That's the question. Zeno's going to head back towards this gen where he saw Lucas get down earlier, but he misses the curve once again. Towie is now going to head back towards the main building, and the survivors are all picked up once again. Zeno gets a hit onto Lucas and onto Towie. A double down and the eruption on the generator. He now knows where every survivor is and still has the potential to get one of them down.
Yeah, you also still have your ace here as well, so that would be your 3rd to then go down onto the ground. You'd have so much control here, trying to make sure that you avoid that 5th gen from popping. We are going to now have to move towards the TNL here. You can see Zeno trying to make the mind games here, trying to see if we can close the distance. Ace going to be able to very quickly make their way through the window.
Matt's here.
And now you've
3-man down
also
situation
the
again.
last one here through the window. That's going to be the hit. The ace, the last one left.
But if Lucas bleeds out, you have to keep this in mind. That this is why Zeno has to pick up Lucas right now. If Lucas bleeds out, he will also be denied the perfect win. So now he's going to try and chase Leaf away. However, Lucas might be able to wiggle here. Zeno is going very far. Is he going for the basement? I don't think he makes it. This is going to be a last-second decision. Is he able to make it? Oh my God! He's barely able to make that basement hook. Well, Leaf will get the pickup onto Towie and probably Matt as well. But at least Lucas doesn't bleed out in this situation.
That's crazy here. So I really thought he was going to get let off the shoulder. That would have been the case with that bleed out timer. I don't know if they would have been able to make any more hook states, which is going to be something we'll have to keep in mind because they're only hooked for their 1st state now, which means they still could go down onto the ground at some point. Now going to be popping the power here is Zeno going back towards the base basement. No, actually going to instead just worry about the door. Is there anyone in the basement?
Oh, the doors are done.
Someone's already down there, right?
They got the last gen. I think someone was down there in the basement that they got the last gen done. That means that they could get out the doors right now. There's no way out stopping them. If they just want to force the doors, they can. But if they're greedy and go back for the save, but ooh, Leaf is found somehow by Zeno out on this pallet. That's another down. Now Towie's the only one remaining, but I think he was the one near the basement. And Zeno will know immediately if he goes for the save. I think Towie has to go for the pickup, but I think I just saw him behind there. Yeah, he's going for the pickup onto Mad, and Zeno's right on their backs. Lucas will hit the second stage, but Towie should be able to make it all the way back over to Leaf now and get another pickup onto him, and maybe even the save onto Lucas.
Now you can't help but wonder, also too, are they going to be able to try and make their way potentially around the outside towards the basement, or maybe they can play for the door? Leaf's not going to be up, which means now you've got the Kate over here, Towie, trying to see if they can make a play. This is a little bit of a prolonged tile, not exactly a safe tile though, within its own right here. The question is, how close are they to getting picked up? There's the one down, but now Ace is going to be stuck over here, doesn't have anything to work with.
Yeah, that's incredible for him to get away here. But like you said, he doesn't have much to work with. Is he able to get the last pickup? That's the question. Towie and Mad and Lucas are all incapacitated right now. It's all up to Leaf. He's using his life, however. You saw him vault right there. Lucas is about to hit death. He has to go for Towie or Mad. That's the question. He gets Mad up, but Towie and Mad are both in the same location. Zeno still has one more chance. The doors haven't been worked on yet, and he has his power up. Now's the question. Is he able to get the 4K right now? There's not much the survivors can do. This seawall is the only thing really standing in between Zeno and this win right now. Oh, but he misses. Mad's able to get back. Now on to the main building. He's going to have to play around this now. That's the question. Oh, but Leaf gets found out as well, and that's the down onto him. Towie's nearby, but Leaf and Towie are both also close to bleeding out, so it all comes down to whether or not Mad's going to be able to waste time. He opts in the locker. Will Leaf bleed out? That's the question.
Yeah, now I mean, I guess you could drop Mad here, right? Because he's got plenty of bleed out timer left.
Oh my god.
Are you going to get to Leaf in time?
I think you do, but the question is now, do you get to Towie in time? Because you have to travel all the way over to the hook. I think maybe just a couple of seconds. This is going to be down to the wire.
So there's going to at least be the one here, which is a fresh hook, of course, as well, since we spent so much time bleeding out survivors. Towie going to be close. You can see they're trying to see if they can
Towie gets picked up
to avoid it.
This
but
should
Towie
be free.
gets picked up. That's going to be close enough to the basement here. I think we're going to be seeing a 4K here. Good day.
Unless Mad somehow is able to crawl out through the hatch, this should be the 50 points. There's another 7 from Towie. Mad, the only thing that stands between, he's right there, and the basement's also right there as well. There's no way that we just witnessed a world record here on the first opening weekend for Winter Circuit.
Yeah, 2023 off to a bang here. Great start, and if that's not Singularity showing that they're here to play for Winter Circuit, I don't know what is. Holy cow, seeing 50 points on the board, that's insane.
That is the first time in DBDL history we have ever seen 50 points on the board. And you want to know something that's also crazy? I looked this up right now while we were playing this game. This is the second time that Zeno has ever gotten in a position where he could have possibly gotten a 4K without stages in the first match, getting the full 22. And he wasn't able to get a 4K in those matches after he got the full 22 with his survivor squad. So now he's able to redeem himself and come back with the full 50 here. That is so insane to see on the first week of Winter Circuit. This tournament has started off with a world record.
Yeah, starting things off here with the bang, but that's not all that we've got for this weekend, right? What else do we got going on this weekend, Good day?
We also are going to have matches with Eternal, with Oh Boy, with Torment, and other teams here in the losers bracket as well. This is going to be such a fun weekend to see. And oh my god, what a great start to this weekend and to this tournament.
I think you've got my screen paused. Although that is a pretty face there right there. There we go. Yeah, so that's going to be, man, Singularity really coming in strong, coming out hot, and I wouldn't want to face them right now because they looked very strong on both sides of the matchmaking as well as in both sets today.
Yeah, like we saw Desolate and Singularity first and second in one of their previous tournaments, really close to each other. Singularity just came out with the biggest bang I think they ever have. That first match, we saw them dominate on the Blight, and then were really solid on the Survivors. Doc had a little bit of a comeback, but they still did an excellent job and had an excellent lead. And then their Survivors played perfectly, and then their killer 4K to set a world record. Singularity, the second seed, is showing such promise here in this tournament.